What's up, guys? So this is why I'm quitting smoking weed, and I'm someone who's smoked weed, on and off, whatever, for fuck, man, at least 10 years now. And the reason why I decided now to stop is because really, for the last like month or so, I'm out here in San Diego right now, and there's dispensaries everywhere. There's delivery service everywhere. Whatever. It's not like the temptation got any higher when coming out here. When I lived in Texas and Florida and stuff, it was, pretty easy to find the stuff too out there, you know. But out here, man, it's definitely a little more strong, that's for sure. Some of this dispensary stuff is like insane, like the level, like moon rocks, stuff like that. Like you get some weed, right? It's high quality weed and it's like dusted and special other THC stuff and whatever. So maybe that's part of it. But man, just like I feel like I've always been a type of person who used it to sleep, right? Like I've never been a type of person who's like at work, stoned, or just like out and about or waking up and taking a hit. Teach their own, right? If you're the type of person who does that. Me personally, I feel like I'm always trying to like optimize, right? Always trying to like biohack, optimize my life, this and that. Not saying that I live a perfect life because I really don't. But just try to find little ways I can get better 1% at a time, right? And just like hearing from like people I've really looked up to, like going to like the Owen Cook from RC his seminar earlier, what almost 2 years now. Fuck, time flies, dude. But just remember him saying like, hey, like weed is one of those things where people want to say that it's harmless, but it's really not, And me at the time, like, all right, well, I respect you, what your thoughts are and stuff, and his thoughts on alcohol, and I stopped drinking um earlier this year, so it's been about 7 months since I've had a drink, and I do not. I'm so happy I gave up alcohol. It's been one of the best things ever. However, weed, I'm like, fuck, man. Well, I like smoking my herb before going to bed, like chilling out, relaxing. It's like my wind down thing, right? So I never really thought. I was always like, all right, well, I think he's talking about the guys who are like, waking bacon and stuff like that. Those are the ones who should like chill out smoking weed, stop smoking weed. And so I let it keep going and going. And you know, just like I said, just the strength that we I think I just had a realization like the last like week or two, okay? And where I was like, all right, well, I've done these things to level up in my life. And, I have this YouTube channel about like, topics I think help men level up. And I was, all right, you know what? I think it's time for the next step. I think it's time that I, you know, quit smoking and I at least try it for 2 months or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So what I did today, I got rid of my stash, okay? So I took my stash, everything, right? I went through my old bin I had in here and I found all the things, all my flour, all of like the papers, the rolling machine, the, um, kept the lighters because use that for like, lighting incense and stuff like that. It's good to have lighters. But like all the material to smoke and then like pipe got rid of, rolling tray, I'm not gonna lie, guys, because I've been reading about like the if you stop smoking abruptly and stuff, or just like wean yourself off THC, how you can just have some like pretty gnarly like you know dependency and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna lie, I kept the edibles. I didn't take any tonight, so I have these like THC sleep pills or just straight indica, and I like them a lot because they really knock me out. But I kept them just in case, if I do crave it to go to sleep, I can pop one. But the whole goal was to really like I think it was just the smoking part. Oh man, sorry. The melatonin's hitting me now, guys. I gotta correct this video. But the smoking part, man, I think it's just like the act of like, like exhaling and whatnot, and then like, about smoking weed versus like taking edible, right? It's like smoking weed, you get a little more tense at first, but it wears off quicker, right? At least at the point where how much I smoked, and back in the day, remember when you first getting high for the first time, it's like take that one rip and you're fucking like feel like you're tripping balls, right? Do I still remember the first time I like smoked weed and like actually got high? Fuck, man, it was like trippy, dude. It's like, yeah, and the first time I smoked like a vaporized weed and like we're just chief on the vape, dude. Like we had like one of those old desktop vaporizers like buddy in high school. I remember just like we go to this place on the weekend and like just smoking so much, dude. I thought that shit was fucking laced because like, dude, I swear we were like I saw like geometrical shit, man, and like I was high as fuck. But anyways, guys, like weed, after a while, man, you smoke it for so long, you stop getting it, like the intensity, you get used to it, right? So you got to smoke more and more. So that's how it was, man. I was like smoking more. Okay, I'm falling asleep. Oh, I need more to fall asleep. This and that, and I'm like, fuck, man. Well, this messes up your REM sleep. And I'm just thinking, like, fuck, man, what? And people are talking. I'm like, I think the real big thing is like watching YouTube videos of people be like, hey, I was someone who smoked, and I stopped, and this is how my life has improved. And just seeing titles, and like actually watching videos of people like, hey, like I went from daily smoker to like not smoking, and this has been the best year of my life. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So if alcohol, if I wean off alcohol, I can definitely wean off weed, because I feel like the alcohol was a little more. Um, I definitely felt more dependent on that, right? I wasn't like a big drinker, but I was someone who enjoyed like having a beer every night and cracking open a beer, a nice IPA or something dark, and just first sip and just feeling like all my stress of the day just like went away. I wasn't someone who was like maybe at times, I was drinking more, but for the most part, I was someone not really drinking a lot. I just I needed my nightly beer, right? And then what got me off drinking that, quitting alcohol, I was at the Grand Canyon earlier this year, right? I went on this big road trip. I went like 2 weeks to like fucking like 8 or 9 national parks, stuff like that. Started over in Phoenix, drove north to Monument Valley and Grand Canyon, stuff like that, and went to like southern Utah and stuff, and went over to California, Sequoia and Yosemite and stuff before heading back to San Diego for the summer. And I remember this trip, I was like, you know what? Let me try not drinking alcohol. It was hard the first couple of days for me. And then, I'm having fun on the trip. I'm not, I'm thinking about other stuff, not about, you know, um, drinking beer and stuff. So it was easier to stop. Okay. I feel like, versus the day to day life. So take advantage of like going on vacations and, stuff like that to quit your vices, right? Because then you already got your mind, off other stuff on vacation. You're having fun. You're not as stressed because you're on vacation. So it's easier to kind of like make choices like that, right? So, anyways, yeah, so I found out I can get off drinking alcohol. So I'm like, you know what, man? Guys, the next step is to stop smoking weed, right? And I'm excited to tell you guys how this journey is going to go and, to have you guys hold me accountable. That way I post this video and I'm locked in, right? It's kind of like a commitment where I'm like, all right, well, I can't like make this video about how I'm stopping smoking weed and, start a day later, right? So it's kind of cool how this works, right? So yeah, guys, that's how I start, pretty much how I got to this point. Never felt like I was someone like who's really dependent on it. However, just noticing my sleep patterns the last couple weeks, a month, whatever, I'm like, huh, okay, I'm not really like how this is going. So here we are, guys, and let me know what you think. Are you someone who smokes weed still? Do you have you weaned off it? What have you, done in your life? So let me know, guys. Peace.